What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and today I'm here with Clash with Cory because our clans got together for a random war. We're talking about 3 Strikes versus WHF. We're each going to pull 2 attacks from our clans against one another just for some fun today to share with you what's going on both in 3 Strikes and WHF. Cory, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, buddy. Excited to do another video, man. It's always fun to work with you.
I love having you on the channel, man. This is the 3rd time, and more to come in the future. Your boys, you guys did some work on us over there, man. 85 to 80 in this war. Well done.
Thank you.
But
you guys put up a heck of a fight as well.
I guess so. We're going to go in on my first attack, guys, and it's going to be on base number 21. Are you all set on that one, Cory?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's hit play in 3, 2, 1, and play. And this attack is Alex from 3 Strikes coming in with a Falcon attack at Town Hall 10 on Trevor from WHF. And he's going to start out with the baby dragon in the west. He has 2 baby dragons in this one for funneling. And one of my favorite things about this attack and why I chose it is just how well he funnels this attack. So far, this is what you're normally seeing from a Falcon here, Cory?
Yeah, definitely, man. And actually, with that little piece of the base that sticks out there, it's such a super clean start for a queen walk. Yeah. Really easy to funnel there. So I think he did a really good job of identifying that on this base.
Yeah, and that baby dragon got some decent value as well. And now you can see this wrecker's just going to kind of push on through, and the Valks are going to run right behind straight through the base. It actually works out pretty darn well.
Yeah, it definitely does.
So Valks are coming in right now. We got the bowlers rocking in behind. You have so much tanking happening. You have the wrecker, then you have the king. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Falcon strategy. I'm surprised we don't see it more. It really, in my opinion, is extremely dominant and just so strong because everything in there is pretty darn hefty. And as I said, everything funneled pretty well. We have some Valks that decide to run around the outside of the base, and they're going to see some problems with that in the end, but it's not going to be a problem enough to not take down the base. And that's one of the things I love about Falcon. Like, I think the funnel was set so nicely, but obviously those redheads like to run sometimes, and it wasn't nice enough, I guess. But the attack is still strong enough to pull in the triple right here just because of that power. I mean, that queen walk is doing work. Possibly because of the multi-target infernos. What do you think?
Absolutely, man. A single would have tripped him up right there by locking onto that queen. Getting the bowlers into the core under rage was huge because he was able to get a lot of bowler bounces out of that core and really take out a lot. And sometimes that wall wrecker is hard to work into a Falcon. You know what I mean? Sometimes that wall wrecker takes down the buildings that would otherwise be pulling the Valks in. And you kind of saw a little bit of that. I still like doing Falcons whenever I get an opportunity, but I actually like the variant where you're using your wall wrecker on the back side of the base with some hogs in it and a few hogs trickled behind. That way it doesn't interfere with your Valk pathing, and you also get some really good tanking out of it, even if you only bring like 4 hogs. If you send in your wall wrecker straight at a group of defenses on the back side and it's tanking all of them, you can watch those 4 hogs going behind it, just doing work on a base.
Yeah, and that's why I love having you on, man, because you could just break it down just a little bit better than I can, and that's a great point. You know, that wall wrecker coming in and taking down some defenses that could have been pulling the troops into the funnel. So, I mean, that funnel was set nice. You had the baby dragons, you had that queen walk, but like you said, possibly it was that wrecker not getting it done properly.
Definitely,
but I
man.
know.
You know what? He could have, if he would have started to the left, if he would have started his Valks right to the left on that straight edge there and started him right there a little earlier, he would have been fine. They would have gone right in the base. But sometimes it's hard to time where your queen's going to walk. You know what I mean? Sometimes she gets further than you think she's going to before you get those Valks started.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I like watching and showing people these random spins, because, you know, we're talking about CWL clans. You guys are the top level. What is it? You guys are invite. We're not quite up in invite, but still, like, you know, like real clashes, hardcore clashes, and they still run into the same problems that some people that may not be as hardcore run into, and it's kind of cool to see that in the video.
Oh, definitely.
So what do you have for me, man?
Actually, so we just saw Trevor's base get tripled, so I thought it was only right we show his triple on number 15. And getting into it right now.
I'm ready for you when
you
are.
Then we're going to play it in 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, let's take a look at this one.
So on this one, he's just going to come in with a wrecker entry. You're going to see he's going to be able to get both heroes on this. Really only needed the queen for the Lalo. That wrecker entry is pretty well defended by 2 single target infernos, kind of to limit the amount of value that your kill squad's going to get. But since JC here is rocking a mixed CC or a small CC,
Hmm.
he's still going to be able to get enough value to finish this base off with a Lalo back end.
Yeah, I mean, Kill Squad Lalo is pretty dominant. I mean, honestly, any kind of Lalo is dominant, and I've been saying that forever. It's just such a great strategy to master.
It definitely is, man. Very versatile attack.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You can build against it, sure, but at the same time, you give it enough tries and you can pretty much triple any base with it too, you know?
Yeah, and there's different variations of Lalo as well. So tell us what you're seeing right now. What are you liking that you're seeing right here?
Well, he got plenty of value from that kill squad. His queen's going to step up and take one of those sweepers out, which is really vital because then he can start on a side where the opposite side, and he doesn't have to fight a sweeper through that base. She's also going to grab an air defense too, but
Hmm.
honestly, that sweeper was a lot more vital to the rest of this Lalo.
Yep.
I like to, I don't know. I would have gone with the freeze. You know what I mean? If I would have
Hmm.
been going into two single target infernos there, but he's like, yeah, I don't need a freeze. And sure enough, he got what he needed.
He got
So
it
starting
done.
in with hounds taken, got hastes coming in on the edge defenses, trying to zoom those loons kind of into the core a little faster to help support those hounds. And
Hmm.
then, yeah, just a nice rotational Lalo here. Kind of a dangerous area on the bottom there. We got multiple wizard towers with no air defenses in range. So that means that hounds aren't tanking those at all. So he's just
Right.
going to kind of swarm through it and then end over a heel over that last wizard tower there, and ends up with a lot of loons left on this raid. Very, very nicely done Lalo by Trevor.
There's not many attacks that are more beautiful than a well done Lalo. I mean, it just
Very
looks
true.
great when you have so many balloons left over in the attack.
A lot of these guys make it look so easy, man. And then when
Yeah.
you get in there and try and drop all those hounds and loons in the correct spots at the correct times and spells, you realize, oh my gosh, this is incredibly difficult to master. So these guys make it look easy. And, you're right. It is definitely a beautiful attack when it's done well.
Yeah, I mean, and I've tried it myself. I've seen the clans do these attacks. I'm like, "Oh, it doesn't look so bad. I could try it out." I go give it
Yeah.
a shot, and it's a fail most of the time. And that's why I always tell people, because my people in my comments will say the same thing. I've tried it, I failed, didn't work for me, and it's all about those friendly challenges. Train up the army and keep going at it with your boys, and master it. Really, it's practice.
It is. It is about those friendly challenges. And then if you have somebody who's already mastered it to help you out and give you pointers while you're doing friendly challenges,
Oh yeah.
then you're ahead of the game.
Yep, I agree. All right, so we're gonna head over back to our side of the war on base number 22, and that's gonna be our boy JC going in right here, and this is gonna be a Queen Walk minor attack at Town Hall 10. You let me know when you're ready to go, and I'll give the countdown.
I'm ready when you are, bud.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and play. And for anyone that knows my channel, you'll know that I love miners. I love Queen Walk minor attacks. My favorite attack strategy. I use it all the time for farming, and I actually have an event war coming up really soon that's going to be an all miner war, which is going to be a lot of fun as well. But we have a nice Queen Walk starting over here, again utilizing that baby dragon, which in my opinion is one of the best support troops in the game. Offers a little bit of
Absolutely.
tank, offers a lot of value, taking out a few key buildings. So far, would you have started your walkout over there in the east?
I don't know, man. That was kind of a sketchy area. If a Tesla would have popped up by the expo, should have been drawn to the right. But if it was a cleanup hit, then absolutely.
Yeah, and you could see right here, the base is already narrowed out just from that short walk with the queen, and now the wrecker's going to come in and just kind of, you know, wreak havoc on the base. With the lava hound, there's no worries, but that balloon, it could be a little bit of a pain, but it's only one balloon right now.
Definitely. It's really nice when you can draw the CC to the wrecker on a miner hit. That way that loon isn't wrecking groups of miners, and you don't have to burn early heals for it.
Yeah, I mean, in my experience, when it's a whole CC filled with balloons, it will demolish your miners. But with one, you could heal through it and probably be okay if there's only one of them in there.
Definitely, yeah. As long as you get the poison down in the right place early enough before it gets over to them, yeah,
Yep.
you can heal through it just fine.
Yep, and what I see JC did here was he used that rage in the core of the base on the miners. I usually do the same thing if I don't need to use it with my queen. If the walk doesn't need the help, I'll use it on the miners and help shred up the center of the base. So it looks like that's what he was able to do on this one. And he's just coming up to this final compartment with that heal spell and the queen's ability and that little Tesla farm there with a couple of with a wizard tower. But really nice one right here. Lots of giant bombs over there hiding in that corner. But
Hey, take a look at the center of this base. You see how that hound's stuck there on that giant?
yeah, I do.
That's Such a pro move right there, putting the giant in the CC with minors on one of these hits, because a lot of times during queen walk minor hits or just minor hits, the queen has to deal with that hound at some point later in the raid. But a lot of times if you got the giant in there and you get your minors in soon enough to back them up, that hound will stay in the middle of that base, stuck on that giant, and your queen never has to deal with it. I love it.
Yep, that actually another reason why you're here, pointing out the things that slip my mind that I don't notice. But yeah, that was a great move as well, and it makes perfect sense. You know, when you watch these things, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. I completely get why he did that. But you know, all right, what's the next one that you're going to show and the last attack for this video?
We're going to show another wrecker hit. This one's going to be Sir Bacon's hit on number 14.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
Okay.
So this one's going to be, like I said, another wrecker entry, but yeah, just a hog attack, man. And
not just a hog attack; it's a solid hog attack.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. I love hogs. It's a really good choice on this base because he's getting both heroes with that entry. You see, Trevor got both heroes in the entry too, so he probably could have hogged the back end. As well, because anytime you get both heroes and shape the base decently, hogs become a really good option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, once you get in there and kind of hollow out the center, heal the hogs throughout the rest of the base, and you're looking pretty good. And, you know, thanks to the wrecker, we're able to do that now, not needing to bring those jumps along. It makes hogs just so much more viable.
It really does, man. It really does. And I like the fact that he brought a golem. You know, you can definitely interchange depending on how deep you need to get into the base. If you're going to bring 1 golem, 2 golems, 3 golems, sometimes no golems, you know what I mean? You can really kind of tailor make it for just how much tank and how far you need that siege machine to get into that base.
Yeah, and it's always impressive that the attackers, they can kind of figure out what they need depending on how deep they need to get into the base. And I always like seeing, you know, that decision on how many golem they do bring along.
Definitely, man. I did one not too long ago over in WHF too, and the guy brought 3 golems, and he went and got the queen all the way on the other side of the base. I'm just like, I would not have thought I could got that queen. How did he figure that out? That's crazy.
Well, pro status right there, man.
Yeah, yeah. Man, he's got a lot of skelly traps. He's going to try and be patient on that poison because he wants to catch them all. So he's going to save it for an area where the base, where the defenses are a little more grouped together so he can get that skelly spell down. It looks like that other group's. There we go. There's going to be that poison.
There we go. Yep.
Oh, come on, Nicholas.
He's waiting.
Making a liar out of me. He's being extremely patient with that poison.
There it is, right. Waited until the very end.
He did, man. He did. You know, and a lot of times you use it towards the end of the raid because that's where it gets really narrow and you can catch all those skellies in it, which he eventually did. Definitely. But very, very nice raid.
Yeah, plenty of hogs left over to clean up the rest of the base as well as the cleanup troops that he has, too. Nice one right there.
Yeah, this was a very comfortable triple. Not a real nail biter at all.
No. Neither of yours. Both of yours dominated pretty nicely, man. It's Town Hall 10, right?
Huh?
It's how it is at Town Hall 10.
Hey, yeah.
You know,
sometimes.
It's getting easier.
It definitely is, man. But base building is catching up with it.
Yeah.
It's base builders are coming up with some really interesting stuff now, making it difficult. So at least in the higher levels of competition, it can still definitely be a challenge.
Yeah, and that's exciting stuff too. And there are some enhancements coming, I think, to Town Hall 10. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult, but we're going to have to wait for a little bit of time to come through to learn more about that. But I guess,
well, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting things coming. Clash of Clans has not forgotten about this game, that's for sure.
No, but Supercell definitely hasn't forgot about this game.
No. So thanks so much for coming down, man. I always appreciate hooking up with you to check out some stuff that goes on in WHF. It just happened to work out that it was our clans meeting up together, which is pretty darn cool.
It did work out pretty well. I got the message from Echo on Discord, and I was like, "Hey, actually, we just random spun one of your clans, so let's do this."
Yeah, and I sent you that message because people in my comments are always asking me to go back to WHF and see what's, everyone loves WHF. They still have that, the OG power bang over there representing WHF, but the reins are yours now, brother. Run with it, man.
All right, buddy, we'll do. It'd be nice if Powerbang would come back for a visit. That'd be nice.
I don't know. That's something you could work out with him, I guess. But, hey, where can everyone find you on YouTube, man?
On YouTube, Clash with Cory.
Clash with Cory. That's pretty simple. I'm going to also have a link in the description below. Again, man, it's always a pleasure to have you on the channel. Thank you so much. And,
thank you for having me, man. It's always a lot of fun working with you.
No problem, buddy. And, guys, I'll see all of you back here again tomorrow. Until then, Be good.